Om. 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 ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, everybody. So we are on chapter 7. We were on verse 8, and we started with 7 last time, which gives us the highest standpoint of Advaita Vedanta, which is known as Turiya Tattva, also it is not known. Turiya. Turiya is the fourth state. We call it a state. It is not a state. There are the three states: waking, dream, and deep sleep. And beyond that, there is the Turiya, which is the pure consciousness. And here Bhagavan says, Matta na parataram, Matta na kinchita, and Matta na anyata. Asti Dhananjaya. O Dhananjaya, there is nothing superior to me, indicating I do not have a cause. I am the causeless cause. There is nothing other than me, which means Advaita. There is nothing. If you see something, it is a delusion. It is a superimposition. So there is nothing other than me, and there is no effect coming out of me. So which means that whatever I see, if I do see something, it is not an effect from him, which means it is an illusion. Because I do see it, but it's we don't call it false, we call it an illusion because it is seen, but it can be negated, and it will be negated when the highest knowledge comes. In the second line, then he says, I am in me, all these pearls are woven, means I am the thread in that necklace of pearls. So when I told you that the Dvaitins, they take the second line and they say that Bhagwan is saying that I am the thread and these are the pearls and we are different. If we go with that philosophy, the first line where he said, there is none other than me, gets negated. And that's why that second line cannot be interpreted as that the pearls are different and the thread is different. Because then his first line is getting negated. Both Bhagwan is saying. So he can't, he's not, he's not saying there's nothing other than me. And then immediately in the next breath, he's saying, oh, but I am like the thread in the pearl. So the pearls are different from me. They're not. So that is a very important point there. And that's why it Advaita holds good there. There is nothing other than him. Then he gives this Drishtant Purnima. I told you there are 15 examples of how to see him in this creation, in this entire creation. This is not a superimposition. This is knowledge that he's giving us. And by telling us what he is, the idea is for us to focus on that and not on focus on the sutra. Basically, he's telling us what the thread is now. So, and the idea of him telling us that is for us to make it easy to focus on the thread and not on the pearls. If I were to give you the example of the movie, focus on the screen and not on what is going on the screen. Rasohamapsu kaunteya, in the water, I am the rasa, I told you, I'm the sapidity in water. I am because of the, just like the necklace cannot be a necklace without the thread, water cannot be water without its sapidity. That sapidity I am. In the moon and the sun, I am the light. Their light is because of me. In the Vedas, I am the Pranava, which is the Om. And I told you, Om representing the three states. I am beyond them. Or Om representing all the alphabets. And everything in this creation, every form in this creation has a name. But when the form gets destroyed, the name also gets destroyed, but the alphabets never get destroyed. Okay, Akshara, that's why they are known as Akshara. And that's why he says, I am that imperishable Om, and the highest that will be conditioned, and the highest then is the silence between the Oms. In the space, I am Shabda, Shabda word, sound. The sound can be heard only in a background of silence. So by saying that I am the sound, he's saying I support the sound by being the silence underneath. If the silence was not there, you could not have heard any sound. And that silence I am, which is supporting all the sounds. In the men includes women. In the human beings, Nr is a representation of a human being, not animals. I'm that paurusham, that ability, that strength to know him or to discriminate. I told you, why is a human a human? Because of the freedom of action that humans have, the freedom of discrimination the humans have. They can know what is good for them, what is as opposed to what is pleasing, and they manifest the full extent of bliss. We manifest as humans. We have the potential to recognize that we are ourselves the source of bliss. Animals do not have these three things. They do not have a freedom of choice. They do not have discrimination, and they can never, from an animal body, it is not possible to recognize the Supreme Self. And that is the difference between animals and humans. Now, as a total thought, individually, I explained everything. As a total thought, see, he's starting with rasa, okay? Rasatmaka Paramatma. Rasatmaka Paramatma. Paramatma, this is, we are talking about Paramatma, the Supreme Self. He is of the nature of rasa, na? He said, I'm the sapidity, I'm the rasa. This rasa, Rasatmaka Paramatma, is discovered by us in the light of this moon and sun. See, if I want to look for something, I will look in light, no? Or will I look in darkness for something? So this Rasatmaka Paramatma is discovered by us in the light of the sun and the moon. And this is revealed to us through the Om in the Vedas. Through the Om in the Vedas, that continuity of thought, okay? And then who is going to tell us about the Vedas? Are the words of the Guru, Shabda Ke. Words are required to understand the Vedas. And those words are uttered by the Guru, okay? Then last is Paurusham. Then I have to have the ability to understand and imbibe those principles in my life. So last comes the ability, Paurusham. Rasatmaka Paramatma, discovered in the light of the Jnana Swarupa, Rasa Swarupa Paramatma, discovered in the Jnana Swarupa Shashi Suryaha. They are Jnana Swarupa. Why? Light. Na? Light is a representation of knowledge, of Jnana. So when he says Prabhasmi, Prabhas, Prabha, light. I am the light in the moon and the sun. Jnana Swarupa Paramatma, who is revealed to us through the Om. Om Pranava in the Vedas, whom we come to know through the Shabda words of the Guru. And then finally, it is our ability. So all those things may be available. If I don't have the ability to grasp it, then nothing is going to happen. This is one total thought. other way of looking at this, a little bit lower standpoint, not standpoint, but there's a different, when different commentators read, each one is reading as per their own mental, abilities, right? So rasa, one meaning of rasa is interest. Interest, right? See, I have rasa in cooking, or I have rasa in dancing or running. Rasa is there. Hindi, those who know, they will know this word better. Rasa. Huh? So that one meaning, I don't know, Prem say you don't know Hindi. Rasa, one meaning of rasa in Hindi is interest. Take it as interest. So a person is interested, I'm interested in cooking. Then what I'm going to do, I need the light to see, not that see, but I need that knowledge. Who is teaching cooking? There are classes. Just this morning, there is an inquiry on our info. A general inquiry has come. Do you give guided classes in Vedanta? So I replied him, I said, what do you mean by guided classes in Vedanta for adults? I said, there are classes for adults and all the information is there. So the thing is that now with him, he has this interest in Vedanta. Now he has gone and looked at the website. That's what you do. Nowadays, everything is Google, Google it, Google it. You want a personal trainer, Google. You want this, Google. You want that, Google. So, so that interest is lead in the light, okay? Interest in Paramatma, if you have, or in anything actually, in the light, you will try to find it because you're interested in that particular subject. Who offers these courses in the university? I'm interested in such and such course. Which university is the best in that? So that light is that Googling or whatever that you will do is that light. Now, Vedas is the means for what I'm interested in. I have looked up the website. Now that university or that classes or whatever is becoming the means. So Vedas are the means. And those means, again, I will understand through words only, either written words or reading, but I'll be reading words or hearing words or something that. And then finally, again, no matter what I'm interested in, it is my ability which will then make me an expert in that. So this is how also this thought process, this verse can be. It's just a general common standpoint. Whatever I'm interested in I'm going to go start looking it up. Then I'm going to find the means. So Vedas become the means. Shabda becomes the medium through which the knowledge is understood, no matter which knowledge I'm getting. Even driving, the instructor is giving us some instructions, or then first they give us the book only. You read this book and familiarize yourself with the rules, right? So it's again words. Then it is my ability, ultimately. Okay? Any questions on this one? All okay? Next. Punyo gandha prithivyam cha tejaschasmi vibhavasau jivanam sarvabhuteshu tapaschasmi tapasvishu. I am the sweet fragrance in earth and the brilliance in the fire, the life in all beings, and I am austerity in the austere. So sweet fragrance in those who grow up in India, I don't know whether I don't think I've ever experienced it here. After me in Bombay, especially, I'm sure many places, after the heat, lot of heat, then suddenly the first rain comes. And then there is a sweet fragrance from the earth, right? Yeah. People are smiling. So I have smelled it, right? Bombay, to, May used to be so hot. Then suddenly June, the first rain. This is what he's referring to here. Punyo gandha. Okay. That fragrance, that sweet fragrance. Now, what does it mean? He's the fragrance. So is he not the odor? Bad odor is also there. More bad odor than good fragrance. What does it mean? So what he's talking here, it's exactly the same idea as raso hamapsu kaunteya. So gandha tanmatra, this word you will hear more in Tattva Bodh. It will be explained. Tanmatra is a word used to indicate the elements in subtle form. See, we see the 5 elements, right? We see earth, we feel the air. They're all perceived. The 5 elements are perceived. When the 5 elements are perceived, they are known as having grossified. All these details we'll see there. They grossify, but before they grossify, they are actually in subtle form. In the sequence of creation, they actually first are in subtle form. What he's talking here, Bhagwan, is that I am that subtle element from which all these elements have come, or because of which all these 5 elements are sustained. So what it means is this gandha tan matra. So when I use the word tan matra, it is subtle. So gandha tan matra is what is sustaining the earth. This earth cannot be sustained without that subtle. It's like saying, atoms. See, we can't see atoms with the naked eye. Right now, every material physics is saying, science is saying, is made out of atoms. So it is like saying, atom is saying, I am because of which this material is existing. That's what the idea is here, which cannot be seen by the naked eye, the atom. Now we know there are atoms, but we cannot see them. So Gandha Tanmatra is what is sustaining the earth. Sparsha Tanmatra is what is sustaining the air. Rasa Tanmatra, which we saw in the previous verse, is what is sustaining water. Rupa Tanmatra is what is Rupa form, is what is sustaining Agni, fire. Because fire is the first element which has a form. And then Shabda Tanmatra is what is supporting space. So what Bhagwan is saying is, I am those Tanmatras, I am the one that is supporting all these 5 elements from where all this world has come. So the indication is that there is nothing in which I am not there. There is nothing which can sustain without me, can remain without me. That is what he's saying here. Pruthivyam, punyo gandha pruthivyam. By saying gandha, one tanmatra, all others are included. Like I've told you many times that in the verse, when they mention only eyes or nose or something, you have to take it to mean all 5 sense organs, because it is the limitation of words. You can't just go on saying all the 5 sense organs. That way, by saying this punya gandha. Now, this tanmatra, how it is to be understood also is that it is that tanmatra because of which I can smell. Okay, I can smell. And as long as my focus is on that tanmatra, which is allowing me to smell, there is no problem. There's no problem, because Bhagwan is saying, I'm that. So if my focus is on that because of which I can smell, there's absolutely no problem. Where the problem comes is that I smell and immediately I say, I don't like this, I like this. That is my ignorance. When I say, what has happened now is I have forgotten that because of which I can smell, and where is my attention? On the good and the bad smell. That is why Bhagwan is trying to tell us, Sutre Manigana Iva is being explained. Look at the sutra, understand the sutra, focus on the sutra. That is what Bhagwan is now giving. 15 examples he gives. And so what he's saying is, it is because of me that you can smell. Now you're setting up a relationship with that smell. Of what? I like it, I don't like it. That is ignorance. What he's saying is, focus. And that's why I said, no matter what thought comes to us, it is given by him. Say, thank you. You gave me this thought. So what should be is, thank you. I can even smell, man, even if it's a bad smell. Thank you, Lord. Because of you, I could even smell this. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have known that it is a bad smell. But I don't say that. I do not say that. I'm like, oh God, so bad. Oh, and I start running away. That is the problem. This is what he's trying to tell us. Okay, so Gandha Pruthivyam Tejas Chasmi Vibhavasav. I am the Teja, the brilliance in the fire, indicating similar to what he said earlier on. Prabhasmi Shashi means the heat in the fire is because of me. The heat in the fire. It's same idea. So whether that fire can be used for good things, but the fire can also burn. Fire can be used for bad things too. Now, what happens is, if our attention is on that principle of heat, which Bhagwan is, now what is done with the fire is not Bhagwan's fault. That's why you say, oh God, how did you burn this child? Yeah, but if the child didn't know and went near fire, it is not fault of God. Because what is the heat is because of which the heat in the fire is because of the supreme reality. But what that fire is actually doing outside, or what the fire is made to do, fire is inert. But fire, we have forest fires, it'll burn the whole fire, the whole forests are getting burned because of that fire. That is not what is meant. What is meant is, think about where this burning power is coming from. Because of whom is this burning power? It is because of the supreme reality. Without the burning power, would we call it a fire even? Can you ask for a cold fire? I don't like hot fire. Please give me some cold fire. Can you get it? You can't. So that is what our attention is being drawn to. Jivanam sarva bhuteshu. Note the word bhuta, not nru or purusha or manusha. Bhutam is that which is born. That which is born. So when he says Jivanam, I am the life force in all the beings including humans, animals, plants, even inert matter, because they may not have a physical birth like we have. Reptiles have a birth, birds have a birth through the egg or whatever it may be, but there is a birth, but they have come into existence, inert matter. So including all of them. But here, the life force. So when we say life, then consciousness is included. See, in the inert matter, there is God is present in the form of existence. God is made up of three principles: existence, consciousness, and bliss. So that existence principle is there in the inert matter. Because he has used the word jivanam, means life, and life is what? Breathing is life, understanding, knowing, doing, seeing, all this indicates life. So the inert matter doesn't have that. So bhuteshu, but it shouldn't be understood that, oh, then there is no God in inert matter. You should not misunderstand that way. He has said, in among all, whatever the life you see, means if I'm talking, he's there. It's because of him that I can talk. It is because of him that you can listen. That is what is to be remembered. That it is because of him that all these things I can do. I can move, I can walk, I can talk, I can smell, I can breathe, I can blink, my eyes. It's all because of him. That is what is meant. Jivanam sarva bhuteshu. Tapaschasmi, tapa is austerity. In the tapasvis, who is the tapasvi? The one who is doing austerity. What is an austerity? It is it gives you a recognition of your own willpower. Can I do this? And fasting is the most common. There's intermittent fasting, like 16 hours without eating anything. That becomes a tapas. That is tapas. Now, in Vedanta, see, there are some, and what does this tapas do? It gives us mental strength. Tapas gives mental strength. Tapas doesn't give knowledge, but tapas is the power to endure. So what he's saying is that power because of which a tapasvi, a person who is doing austerities, can stay on his path. If I decide to fast for 16 hours, and if I can really truly manage to do it for 16 hours, then that austerity, that power of endurance in this person is because of me. That is what I am. That is what he's saying here. Tapasya, see, austerity, there are certain Buddhism, they do a lot of tapas for the body, like standing in the hot sun, surrounded by fire on one leg, being, without any clothes in the snow-capped mountains. That is also tapas. Vedanta doesn't necessarily prescribe those types. The reason is they're for the body. And the whole idea of studying Vedanta is to negate, falsify the body. So whether that body can bear that much cold or body can bear that much heat is not that much relevant. what your mind also, mind is more important than the body in Vedanta. Now, healthy body is required. Of course, the fasting also, can the body fast, but then that you have some purpose of losing weight. So there's some sort of goal is there. That is what but this type of tapas is not recommended. But that power of endurance, what Bhagavan is saying here, I am that tapa in the tapasvis. In Tulsi Ramayan, Parvati ji has, even Dhruva we have seen tapas. Parvati also did lot of tapas for for marrying Bhagwan Shankar. See, there was a goal there. There was, that thing was there. So a lot of tapas she did, and ultimately she got it. Tapas doesn't give knowledge. That has to be remembered. Just because I'm doing tapas, knowledge only arises from purity of mind. But tapas gives you that purity, because you see, when you're so focused on one thing, all other things are out of your mind. That's why tapas is required. We have to do tapas. We do mental tapas. Like studying is a tapas. Getting up in the morning and having our own disciplines and studying, attending classes, all this falls under tapas only. So the power to endure. Dhriti is one of the, the qualifications for a Vedantic seeker. That again will come in Tattva Bodh. Perseverance. So that ability to persevere, that is what he's saying, I am. That ability I am, because of which a person can persevere on this path or whatever that austerity that he's doing. That is what I am. Tapaschasmi, tapasvishu. Okay. Next. Bijam ma sarvabhutanam viddhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhimatamasmi tejas tejasvinamaham. Know me, O Partha, as the eternal seed of all beings. I am the intelligence of the intelligent, the splendor of the splendid. Things and beings am I. So Partha, son of Pritha, we have seen that. It's a name for Arjun. O Arjun, know, Vidhi, know me to be the seed of all the, again, the word Bhuta is coming. So seed of all the beings. This last word, Sanatanam, eternal, is an adjective to Bijam. So I am the seed, which is eternal. Now, generally in a seed, when you plant, most of you have got gardens, you plant a seed, the seed dies, doesn't it? So the seed dies and then there is a plant. So is he that type of a seed is the question. And because he says Sanatana, means eternal, means he cannot be that type of a seed. That is not what he's referring to, that I'm that seed. Then the question, are you mango seed, or are you apple seed, or are you this seed, or you that question will come. But that's why that word is there, Sanatana. So what he means by eternal bija, eternal seed, is I am the potentiality in that seed, in any seed, to sprout. That potentiality never goes away. And the way it never goes away is, you plant a seed, it gives a plant, and then it gives a flower and then a fruit, and that fruit again has a seed. Again, that cycle goes on. Okay, so the potential to sprout, that is what he means by saying, I am the bijam in all the bhuta. So all of us, including animals, plants, everything, which is eternal. See, if we see our chart, we say that this vasana level, that is the causal body, that is the cause, samskaras, right? And we also have said, if some of you haven't heard, you will hear it in Tattva Bodh, but also we have said that it is those samskar, those vasanas or samskaras or impressions that have given rise to a particular type of body, a particular type of mind, a particular type of intellect. Everything is, that's the blueprint. So is he referring to that, is the question here now. So that is the bijana, that is the seed, causal body. Cause, it's called causal body, the V in that chart. So that causal body, is that what he's saying here? That should not be, that is not what he's meaning either. And the reason that we know that he doesn't mean that it is the causal body, vasanas is because they can be changed and they can be negated. So that's why that Sanatanam word becomes important here. When he says eternal, if I say that that vasana level, the V is the bija, is in normal parlance, we say that it is my vasana. So that's why I feel like I like tea. It's because of my vasanas. I like a movie, or I don't like something, or I like this color, or I like that color. All this like, dislike, whatever is coming from that vasana level, that is not a problem. That is how it is. So question is that what he is? No, because he's saying Sanatanam. Why? Because those simple, what I liked in my childhood, I don't like today. That means that sanskara I have changed. So that sanskaras can change. That vasana level is also known as prakriti. So prakriti, already he said in the previous one verse that these two are the cause of this world. So what? Purusha and prakriti. So is prakriti is the bija? Is that what he means here by saying I am that bija? Is prakriti? It is not. That is to be understood. It is not prakriti. It is the potential in that prakriti to modify. That is what he is. So prakriti can be transcended. That's why we have realized masters. What have they done? They have gone over there, annihilated all the vasanas, and they have reached that supreme self. So that is also not what is meant. It is meant that it is only the potential that he is, means because of him, Prakriti can modify. Because of him, Prakriti can create. Everything is because of him. So attention is being taken from the creation. It's what is created, how it is created is not important. Definitely what we do is we are getting involved in the creation, and then we have set up a relationship with the creation of like and dislike. That is what he's trying to break. Don't like or dislike the creation, because actually there's nothing other than me. So if at all you must like the creation, knowing that the creation is nothing other than the creator. Mata na anyata. So if you're focused on the creation, then this is what your focus should be. That this creation is nothing other than the creator. So I must love. We don't love everything in the creation. That is the problem. Do I love everything that is happening to me? Bad situation comes. Do I say that's okay, God? I don't. I complain. I cry. That is what he's trying to say here. From that creation, see, jnana, there are two words. There's one is jnana we heard, and vijnana. In the first verse only we heard these two. He said, I will give you jnana as well as what he's giving right now is vijnana. Okay. So this vijnana word is to see the sutra in the necklace. Vijnana means to see the divinity or the uniformity or the oneness in the multiplicity. That's why he's giving Vijnana. What is this he's doing here? He's drawing our attention to the sutra. Don't forget that. A very, very important verse that is. Sutre Manigana Iva is another, is like Karmanne Vadikaraste, which is quoted very many times. Bhagavan said, Sutre Manigana Iva. Focus on the sutra. Focus, that is what he's saying. That is what Vijnana is. When your focus is on the divinity, when your focus is on the substratum, when your focus is on the screen instead of the movie, when your focus is on the thread instead of the necklace, when your focus is on the power by which you can smell or eat or taste or touch, and not on I like this and I don't like this, that is becoming Vijnana then. That is what Vijnana is. Where is your focus? Change the focus. That is the whole thing about Vedanta inquiry. Self-inquiry is to change the focus of our mind. Okay, that is what is jnana. Then jnana, once you recognize that divinity, then the jnana is to include that multiplicity in the divinity. That's why we see I can say, okay, creator is not other than the created, right? Then why don't I go look for the creator in the creation? I can say that now. That's not allowed. That is not allowed. That is not allowed. So first you have to be able to see the divinity, then you can go indulge in the world. Then you're allowed. Then you go. Now, once you see that divinity, you will not deviate from it. And seeing here is not a physical seeing, but realization. You will not deviate. But if you decide to go into the world first, you are going to get distracted, deviated. You will never find that divinity in there. You won't find it. You will only indulge in the world. So that's why Upanishad and all is telling it, within you look within. Okay, this is how when you're looking outside, at the same time you're looking within. This is what these verses are doing. 8 to 11, in these verses, 15 examples are being given. Okay, so that is what is meant by bijam. Buddhi mata masmi. Buddhir, I am the intelligence in the intellect. What is the intelligence is what is known as viveka shakti. Viveka, discrimination, the power to because I told you what is making us a human being is the power to discriminate. That is why I'm a human being, that I know what is good for me, what is pleasing to me. I have that discrimination which animals don't. So that discrimination, viveka shakti, that is what is meant by intelligence in the intellect. Okay, so those who call themselves intelligent, their as per Vedanta, the intelligence is to be judged by their power of discrimination. How good is the power of discrimination? Now, this also Vivek will come in Tattva Bodh rather. See, in Vedanta, what is this Viveka now? What is this discrimination? What is Bhagwan saying? I'm the Vivek Shakti. I am the discrimination. What sort of Viveka? So in Vedanta, this Viveka, and this is the definition of Viveka in Tattva Bodha given by Bhagwan Shankaracharya, which we'll be again studying. It is Sat Asat Vivek. What is true, Sat, and what is false, Asat. That Viveka we should have first. In Vedanta, that is what is this Vivek Shakti. When I have that, the person who has that Bhagwan is saying that ability, that Shakti, that power, I am. Okay, that is Vedanta. Next, we have the Sankhyan school of philosophy. Also, we have Sankhya. For them, this Vivek, because Vivek Shakti is different. Now, see, I can discriminate. You know what? I have discriminated that money is the means to happiness, and I have to do anything to make money. That's not discrimination only. But is that what Bhagwan is? No. So Sankhya school of philosophy tells us to discriminate between Purusha and Prakriti. That is the Viveka that they go for. And there what it means is discriminate between the seer and the seen. Seer and the seen, which we studied in Drigdrish Viveka. Seer, the seer is the one who is sentient and the seen is all inert. And what I think is I am the seen. Now, here you might think, no, I don't think I'm the house or the computer or the car. No, you think you're the body. And the body is the seen. So that discrimination is as per the Sankhyan school of philosophy. So they do seer-seen Viveka. In Bhakti Shastra, it is Ananda Mimamsa. Mimamsa, the word Mimamsa means inquiry. Ananda, bliss. So this inquiry has to be done into the happiness quotient. Now, what is my position right now? If I have a big car, I'll be happy. If I have a big house, I'll be happy. If I have many clothes, if I have many shoes, if I have this, if I have that, if I have that, if I have that. In the morning, unless I get my cup of tea or coffee, I cannot be happy. I will be happy only when I drink my cup of coffee. That is my position right now. Now, this Ananda Mimamsa, it means understand, do Viveka, where exactly is that happiness coming from? That is the inquiry. How do you inquire into happiness? what is the source of that happiness? So this happiness, the way it works is, the mind is agitated, right? When there is a desire in the mind, there is agitation. If I get up in the morning, oh, cup of coffee, cup of tea, something, 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 my mind is shaking. It is agitating. Now what happens is I make the tea, or somebody gives me a cup of tea. I drink that. And now it is a natural phenomena for me to think that, yes, I wanted the tea. I was agitated. Now I drank the tea. Now I'm happy. Happiness is because of the tea. That is what, and that tea means all the things in the world. I'm happy because I have this. I'm happy because I have that, because of this. What inquiry, what Viveka Shakti, what discrimination we have to do? What is happening? What is the phenomena there? When the mind is agitated, there is actually happiness within us. Because why? Satchit Ananda, divinity is inside of us. Now, all the happiness, that is the source of all happiness. All happiness, that is the source. Okay. So when my mind is agitated, that happiness which is within inside is not being seen here, because the mind is shaking too much. Now what happens is, from outside, I provide a cup of tea to this, or coffee, whatever I provide. Now what happens is, temporarily the mind stops shaking. It's not agitated anymore. In that calm mind, the divinity from within shines better. It is like a reflection happening in a, very steady bucket of water. The water is extremely steady, motionless. How bright will that reflection be? As opposed to water which is shaking. If it is on a platform which is trembling, if the water is trembling, how is that reflection going to be? And that is what is happening, that the happiness is coming from inside. It is not coming from outside. That is the Viveka Shakti through Bhakti Marg. And that is what I am. If you can understand that, that is me. This is what Bhagavan is saying here. Buddhir buddhi madhamasmi. What is the intelligence? Intelligence is Viveka. What is true intelligence? Of course, we think, oh, very intelligent in math, very intelligent in this, very intelligent in cooking, very intelligent. That is not what is meant in here in Vedanta. This Vivek, if you have that extreme Viveka. So what is happening is, in Vedanta, we are doing Sat Asat Vivek, means we are doing discrimination with regards to Sat, existence. God is Sat Chit and Ananda, the principle of this thing. So in Sankhya philosophy, it is consciousness, seer seen, because the seer has to be conscious to see. So that Viveka is with respect to consciousness. And through bhakti, this Ananda Mimansa is with respect to the bliss. So that is the Viveka that we have to have. Okay. So existence, consciousness, and bliss. Our desire to live is an expression of the fact that I am existence. That is why I have the desire to live. If I come to, why do I have a desire to live? Because I think there is death waiting for me. If I come to know, if I have the discrimination that I am eternal existence, which I truly am, will I be afraid of death? Will I be afraid? I'm eternal existence. What is death? In which Upanishad? Kathopanishad. Shruti says, for realized masters, death is like a pickle. Insignificant. That is how it is. So this Viveka, when I have, that is my representation. That's what it says here in intelligence. Okay, intelligence is the Vivek. Understand it to be discrimination, the power to discriminate what is good and what is not good, what is pleasing. Tejah tejasvinama aham. Aham, I am the brilliance in the brilliant, the splendor of the splendid. What is this Teja? Teja is to be understood as pragalbhya. Pragalbhya means the ability to give a new direction to someone else's life. Change, when you can change the course of that person's life. So See, we can give money, we can give clothes, we can get a person a job, we can, there are many things we can give. But this is the greatest ability, is to change somebody's whole thinking. And we see that in Gurudev, all the realized masters, Swami Vivekananda also, right? Nisargadatta Maharaj also, any realized master, that is the teja. Imagine, just in the mission, we know how many people, life only he changed, full life. They came in contact with Gurudev, they left everything and they just went into the mission. Swami Tejamanji is one example. Sorpananji, Ishwan, any name you take, any Swami Chidatman, they were all, Chidatman was a lawyer, Ishwananji software engineer, he was physics, graduated in physics, going into masters, and he came in contact with Gurudev, and that was it. He left everything and see where he is now. That Teja, that is the Teja. Otherwise, there is always intelligence is there in worldly matters. That is not what he means. So this is what the ability to give new direction to somebody's life. It happens, even I have seen it. But I know a person and student. He was a student at UBC. I don't know what he was. I can't remember. Anyway, he had come. He used to come. He's my friend's son. He used to come, and then we had other friends who were, he was in agriculture. He was a graduate in agriculture, and he was doing agricultural, whatever, agriculture he was doing. So they talked, and this boy, he just changed his line of education. He went into agriculture. And we're like, what? And the parents already had spent so much money. Now he changed all his courses. He went. He used to, then he got a job in Nestle's chocolate, because food, whatever. And then I don't know what happened. He gave that up and he became a doctor. He's a doctor now. He went into medicine. He studied full, and imagine medicine to study after he had, I think he got married also when he was in Nestle. He got married also. He had got 1 or 2 children also. And then all of a sudden he's like, I want to become a doctor now. And now he became a doctor. So whoever changed, his course of life, that is how his destiny was. But in the spiritual world, if the direction can be changed into, because this is the highest evolution, if somebody can change that, then that is the teja that is being talked about here. Okay, because there are people who are, what, recruiting little kids into gangs also, right? And teaching them to do all kinds of wrong. That is not the teja that Bhagwan is talking about here. Okay, so that is what. All right. Next. Balam balavatam kamaraga vivarjitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabha. Of the strong, I am the strength, devoid of desire and attachment. There's a qualification again here, like that Sanatanam. This also is a qualification. And in all beings, I am the desire which is unopposed to dharma, O best among the Bharata. Bharata Arshabha, we have heard this name. Bharata belonging to the Bharata dynasty, referring to Arjun. Bull, Arshabha is bull, so strong. You are one of the strongest in them. That is the best. You're the best. Strong means best. I am in the strong people, I am the strength, but which is devoid of kama and raga. Kama, desire. Desire is always for something that I don't have. I will never desire something that I have. I have a head. I can never desire a head. I can desire a beautiful face. If I think that my face is not beautiful, then I can desire a beautiful face. But desire is always for something that I don't have. And raga, attachment, is always for something that I have. Once I fulfill my desire and I get that desired objects, then I want to possess it. I want to maintain it. I want to keep it. I don't want it to go away. And that is what attachment is. Now, what he's saying is, I am the strength. See, strength can be for doing good, and strength can also be for doing bad. See, we have computer hackers nowadays, modern example, they are they have so much perseverance. They are sitting on the computer for hours and hours, I'm sure, trying to figure out, what is this password? How do I hack this? How do I hack that, right? So that is not Bhagwan is referring to. So here what he says is, when a desire is there, which is not against, which is not driven by ego and egocentric desires. Example, I pick up a stone, okay, and I want to throw it at somebody. Now, in this scenario, there are two strengths that are involved. What is the first one? First one is to even lift that stone, I need strength, don't I? There is that physical strength. Then to throw that stone, I have to have the strength of desire, right? I have to have that strong desire to hurt, because strength comes from desire too. It's not just the physical strength. Mental strength is even more important. If mentally you're very strong, there is a lot of things that you can do. That was the right in the gym. The body is not the problem. It is the mind that is, the mind is, deciding to do it, the body will do it. So this throwing part is the strength from the desire. Now, that throwing, is it for hurting somebody else? Because that is also strength. I might want to damage somebody's car, so I want to throw that. Or maybe some person or animal is attacking somebody. Maybe a dog is attacking some human being, and now I'm throwing the stone at the dog to push him away. So the strength behind that desire to push the dog away, that is what I am. This is what Bhagavan is. When he says kama raga vivarjitam, means it has got no desire. Like the only desire I have is to save that person. I don't have the desire to hurt the dog necessarily. I only have, because the saving that person, human being, becomes greater than, not hurting the dog. That strength I am. But if I am throwing the stone at a car or at a person to hurt that person, that strength I am not. This is what is meant by kama raga vivarjitam. Long time in my husband's childhood, he used to tell me this story, when we first got married in a village near Indore somewhere. There was an 80-year-old grandmother. She had her two grandchildren with her. She was living in a hut, poor lady. And there, tigers used to come. So this one tiger came one night in the middle of the night, and he started scratching at her door. This is a true story. Huh? So she had a cane. She used to actually walk with a cane. Because she thought that her grandchildren were in danger, she didn't even probably know what she was. She just hit and hit and hit that tiger with the cane. Hit him so much that he ultimately died. 80-year-old grandmother killed a tiger, and she closed the door, and she said, and the next day morning when the people came, it was like a 6-foot heavy big tiger that she had killed. That strength I am. This is what Bhagavan is saying here. Where did she get that strength from? She probably couldn't even walk properly, but when she thought that my grandchildren are in danger, that strength I am. That is what is meant by kama raga vivarjitam. Did she have any desire other than saving the grandchildren? Did she have any attachment? That is what he means. What happens is, why is he saying kama raga vivarjitam? Because when you have desire and when you have attachment, which is, for the worldly things or whatever, it actually makes you weak. A desire will make you weak. You know why? Because when the desire is so strong, you will say, oh God, please. You'll beg of people also. Begging of God is one thing. God, so you can beg. That is, you're allowed. But we start begging of other people. What has to be understood is that a very strong desire will not give you strength. It is your weakness. The desire becomes your weakness. That weakness I am not. That's what Bhagavan is saying. It. The strength which comes out of desire to help somebody else, which has got, you don't have your ulterior motive there, that strength I am. That's why he has qualified it with kama raga vivarjitam. Vivarjitam, without. Okay. Dharma, I'll just give this thing, we'll explain next time. Dharma viruddha bhuteshu. So whatever desire it is, if it is against dharma, that I am not. Because I want to rob a bank, I want to go hack somebody's computer, I want to hurt somebody. That is also desire only. Desires are good and desires are bad. Desire is a desire. So Bhagwan is saying what is coming out of a good for the totality. Sometimes we just help people on the road, just to sometimes, there are elderly people here, there are a lot of, they're standing there. I just hold their hand and take them. I've done that. I saw somebody, I don't even know, some person fell in that temple park. I just went, I lifted him up, finished. I was done. So that desire, because there was a desire to help that person, to cross. I said, okay, I'll hold your hand. Yeah, please, she said. So I held her hand and I took her across. That desire, he says, I am. That is coming from me. But if it is a desire to hurt somebody, if it is a desire to insult somebody, the power to speech he is, but what that speech is, if that speech is meaning to hurt somebody, that I am not. But if that speech, now I'm talking about Bhagavad Gita, now that strength is his. That has to be right. What happens to us? I'll tell you. What happens to us is, now I'm speaking. Now, if you say, oh, she spoke so well, I say, I spoke. That is the problem. That is the problem. When I bring that I in there, my ego, that becomes a problem. As long as I recognize, at least I may not say it, but in the back, it's my Guru's grace. That's fine. You don't have to go to God. You say, if Guru would not have taught me, I wouldn't have been able to speak. Then and I want to speak on Vedanta or this, that desire I am. But if that desire was coming, oh, then everybody will say how good I am. Then they might give me some money. Then that desire I'm not. Even though I speak Vedanta, that desire I am not. That's why he says, Dharma viruddha bhuteshu. What is against dharma? I can never. That's why he told Arjun, I am on your side, not because I like you, because Duryodhana is against dharma. That is, you are fighting for dharma. He is against. That's why I'm on your side. Don't think I'm. Yes, Mahabharata is there. He says, I don't think I'm there because Draupadi got derobed. She didn't. I was there for her. But because he tried to, that is what you are. That's why you have likes. You are here because, yeah, he tried to do this to my wife. No, that should not be the reason. Then I'm not with you. If that is your desire, that is not me. But he is on the side of dharma, adharma, all the Kauravas. Even Bhishmacharya, he's siding with adharma. I have to stand against him. Bhishmacharya was one of his greatest devotees. Because I can't help it. I am always on the side of dharma. That's what Krishna has said in Mahabharata. So that's why he says, any kama, any desire which is against dharma, I am not. But if it is in favor, then I am. That desire is also me only. All desires are coming from him. That's why I said all thoughts come from him. And that is why we have to, when good thoughts come, we must not take the credit. We must say, thank you, Lord, you gave me this thought. And because of this thought, this good thing happened, or whatever I wanted happened. That's where the problem comes in, when the ego is brought in. See, I thought and I did, and I got this, and I'm so happy now, I'll enjoy. That is what. ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Okay, Hari Om, everybody. See you in 2 weeks. See you tomorrow, some of you, and others in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you.